Without Remorse is a 2021 action film directed by Stefan Salima, screenplay by Taylor Sheridan and Will Staples, and of course based on Without Remorse by Tom Clancy.
It stars Michael B. Jordan, Jamie Bell, Jodie Turner-Smith, Guy Pearce. And the Tomato Meter rating is 43% with an audience score of 45%.
Fuck those critics, though. Like, what? Damn, I should have believed that.
But the audience, though, they
don't, well, they're just critics too. I mean, if we rated it, we would be in the audience score, right? Like, we're somehow not critics, though. We're just critics that don't get paid. We're amateur critics, and that's what an audience is.
We're the people's critics.
Well, Without Remorse is a modern reimagined version of the 1993 Tom Clancy novel of the same name. The story follows Senior Chief John Kelly, who is a Navy SEAL focused on getting revenge after his pregnant wife is murdered as retaliation for a mission that he took part in a few months prior. This was my first impressions of this. It is a decent action movie. Michael B. Jordan played a good role in it. I didn't really have any problems with his performance. I did have some problems with the movie itself, but I don't think that was really anyone's fault as far as the actors go. There was a little bit of weak screenplay, in my opinion. There were there was a few major cut the bullshit moments, and I really hate when those happen and it takes me out of the immersion of a scene. That, like, especially a movie that is supposed to be somewhat grounded in reality. This isn't some superhero movie where I can just write things off to like magic that doesn't happen in the universe. So there are just like a few moments of this that was like, all right, what's going on here? But with that being said, I mean, it is an action movie. It's a decent action movie. I enjoyed it for what it is. It kept me, engaged. I wasn't bored while watching it. I did want to continue it. I was never like trying to get away from it. But with that being said, the movie did feel like felt like one big prelude to Rainbow Six. And I think that's basically, according to like the contract that Michael B. Jordan and everything signed, I think that's really what this is. So with like
spoilers.
That's not a spoiler.
It's a spoiler.
That is like public contract knowledge. It has nothing to do with the movie. That's just like if you read about him, he signed a contract for 2 movies. The second which is called Rainbow Six.
I'll just give you a hard time.
Okay. I was like, this is supposed to be spoiler free. Fuck. But yeah, so it did feel like a lot of the movie was set up. It felt like the first half of Batman versus Superman, where it's like, all right, I know this is going somewhere. I really hope it gets there quick. And it turns out the place where it's going is probably going to be in the next movie. So, but with that being said, it's definitely not horrible. I'm trying to stall because I actually don't have a verdict picked yet. Okay. I'm gonna give this movie a no. I feel like I have to be honest. It's not great. It is fine. If you want something to put on, it's not going to be horrible. But as far as recommending it to you, the general audience, I don't feel like I can do that, honestly. So yeah, probably one to skip for me, in my opinion. Where do you land on this one?
This movie to me is kind of like, this weird crossover here. Immanuel Kant, the philosopher, wrote a book called Foundations of the Metaphysics of Morals. And because it's such a difficult subject, he never wrote anything other than the introduction. And so I kind of feel like we're sort of seeing the same thing here, that it's like I kind of get the vibe that it was sort of an intro to RB6. I think, though, if you already know without reading anything that this is a Rainbow Six introduction, then you might be the kind of person that would watch this movie, because I feel like if you're a big fan of the novels, you just kind of have to see the movies. I feel like it was like that for Harry Potter. It was like that for Twilight. Yep. Maybe not Dark Tower, or True. Realistically, almost any movie made out of a Stephen King book, except for maybe like 2.
It 1 and It 2. Yeah. It
much,
chapter 1 and It chapter 2. Yep.
Yeah, pretty much. And a third if you want to count the original. But it's like, but it's for an action film. Like, I thought there was some good. It's weird though, because I'm a sucker for good dialogue. When we
Mhm.
did Blade Runner, I called the monologue at the end of the movie. I called it. I believe I used the word gorgeous. I love good dialogue,
Yeah,
and there was some good dialogue in here,
I agree. Yeah.
and some good deliveries, and there was also some garbage dialogue with actors who are desperately trying to deliver it well, who are actually good at their jobs.
True.
A fucking Guy Pearce is in this movie.
Yeah.
I mean, and Michael B. Jordan's no slouch, and honestly, neither is Jodie Turner Smith. I mean, really, everyone's good.
True. Yeah.
But yeah, it's a lot because everything I have to say is for an action film. So
Yep.
I like the action; it's awesome. The fight scenes are great. They do some of like the silly action film badassery, like where they do silly things. There's an awesome wrestling move, a fireman's carry, and like a fight scene in the stairs. If you like wrestling,
Good gunplay.
my,
I mean, it's no
oh
John
yeah,
Wick, but yeah, I mean, yeah.
oh yeah. I mean, the physicality is fantastic. But it's just not like it's a good action film. But I agree with Ty; it's not a good film. So unless you're like a huge fan of the books, or you just really want to see Michael B. Jordan in a starring role, which that's the reason why I watched it. I would say no on this one. Maybe just pass. If your time means something and you're not just a lover of action films or Tom Clancy, maybe not.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Well, how do we bring out? I have no interesting way to bring out spoiler Terry for this one, so we'll just let him come out and he can ruin this. Let you know that it's definitely a Rainbow Six movie.